welcome back to Old Soul Podcast. My name is Bree. That's spelled B-R-E-I. Thank you so much. Today I'm going to be doing a commentary or a short recommendation about a film for the new release series that I have called Civil War. It was released in 2024. It's rated R and it has a runtime of 1 hour and 49 minutes. And the director of this film is Alex Garland. So like I always do, I'm going to try to give this a recommendation without giving spoilers. Well, too many spoilers, just so that you have a taste of what to expect and basically the reasons why I really enjoyed the film. So we have 4 journalists who do shots and stories about war, it seems, and even if they did have some sort of other approaches or other genres that they did photography or journalism over before the Civil War that is taking place in this film, we wouldn't really know that much about it. I'm sure it was still political in some way. I don't know that it would have been a drastic change. I think that's even mentioned a little bit in some of the backstory. But overall, these journalists are capturing brutal moments in the Civil War that's currently going on in the US of A, in this timeline, in this universe, in this film. And there's like a veteran journalist, he's an older guy, and then there's 2 sort of middle-aged journalists, and then there's a young girl, or a young woman. She's very young, and she's sort of new and sort of just hitches a ride with them. They're on their way to Washington, D.C. to possibly interview the president and also capture all of the stuff going on around that. And along the way, they're going state to state and running into a lot of different obstacles, difficulty, death, run-ins with death. Because, of course, while they are shooting shots of people, these people are actively in war. Some of them know why they're fighting. Others are just fighting because they see guns and they're trying to protect themselves. And others are doing it for the joy, which you'll see very clearly in the film. Some people are in denial. It's just all over the place. People are displaced. There are different circumstances going on, and the political wool over the film is just very present, and how could it not be? And there are just so many shots where it feels like it's a handheld camera. I'm not specifically sure about the details of that, but you'll feel like you're in the crowd getting pushed around, or you'll see everyone in gear moving around the stairs to make sure a room is cleared out. You'll hear the yelling. You'll see people getting shot right in front of you. There are moments when Alex Garland decides to make us in motion and in a scene, and then it cuts to a shot and it's in black and white and sort of grayish. It's just so interesting. We have these calming moments of relief when the characters are talking about their backstory, or you see them sort of dealing with their traumas or having panic attacks. Or so yes, that's a spoiler. You're going to see a lot of death. And surprise, surprise with war. But unfortunately, it's this weird sort of moral and value situation where the journalist, you know, when someone's dying, there usually is someone there helping them, like if someone gets shot. But the journalists are really there to capture the story and get the information out there. However, it's taking a toll on some of the journalists, and maybe others too. We just only really dive into one. Oh, and it's sad. And you think about how can they even focus? How can they not be freaked out? And you see with the younger journalist that in the beginning, she is really freaked out. It's really taking a huge toll on her. Whereas the sort of veterans or juniors of this group that's sort of formulated somewhat accidentally are so used to it. I wouldn't say completely desensitized, but there's a bit of numbing that they probably have had to do that took years, maybe, and still it's affecting some of them, or all of them. We only really take a deep dive into Lee, but still. And it's just interesting to note that, as crazy as it is to think that someone would just be taking a photo of someone getting shot and possibly while they're dying and not helping, they're just focused on the story, on a shot. As crazy and sad as that is, it's also like, how else are people supposed to get real information about what's happening? It's such a weird discussion to have, but a necessary one to have. And I think the controversies within this film are really what brings it all together and what really drew me in to go see the film after watching the trailer. And that is the fear of this being super, super realistic, and that obviously you could take bits and pieces from this film and it's already happened, and there's been causes of wars because of certain things in the atmosphere, political, racial, human rights, all those things. And then you also could feel like, oh, I could see this happening soon. So there's the big lull of fear and realism and beautiful and terrifying shots and situations and scenes with a great collaborative effort of this cast and everything, with A24 being the producers. It's just something that I think everyone should see. And I do think you should expect loud gunshots that feel like jump scares and, again, really gruesome shots of people getting killed or dying or suffering in some way. But that, unfortunately, is the reality of war. And so, yeah, thank you for listening. I hope you go watch Civil War, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks. Bye.